Hi, I'm Detective Incognito. Welcome to another video. I investigate mysteries that many wouldn't dare. What you're about to see are secrets you never imagined existed. Your way of thinking will never be the same again. The transmission began like any other routine check, but then the voice changed. The voice was calm at first, then it became hesitant, almost trembling, saying with these words, "Control. You're not going to believe what I'm seeing out here." Then there was a huge silence, a pause, then a broken whisper through interference. "It says they're watching us." That sentence was never meant to be. Heard it was buried and erased, but fragments survived. Echoes from an astronaut who saw something no one could explain, and maybe that's why you're here. 'Cause deep down, you already feel that space hides more than stars. They can hide reports, they can rewrite history, but they can't erase curiosity. If you've ever felt that pull toward the unknown, stay close. Because what you're about to hear was never supposed to reach Earth. And once you know it, you'll never look at the sky the same way again. The voice came from a mission that officially ended without incident. No problems, no warnings, no evidence. But the logs told another story. During the final hour of orbit, strange pulses appeared in the transmission. Not random static. They followed a rhythm too precise to be natural. Engineers dismissed it as cosmic noise, but others believed it was something else. A signal, a reply. Those files were locked away. Every trace deleted from NASA's archives. But one recording escaped. And that's how we know what really happened out there. The year was 1983. The astronaut's name remains classified. The world knows him only by his initials, CW. His voice was steady but nervous. "There's something moving outside the module," he said. "It's reflecting light, but it's not metal." NASA's response? Ice particles. Light distortion. The usual. But when audio experts analyzed the recording, they discovered the distortion wasn't random. It pulsed in repeating mathematical sequences. Almost like Morse code. Almost like communication. And just as quickly as it appeared, every version of the audio vanished. Every backup, every copy gone. Classified under national security. Still, one line from CW's final log survived. "If they find this," he said, "tell them. It wasn't a star." When he returned to Earth, CW wasn't welcomed with applause. He was taken to a secure facility. No cameras, no press, no explanation. The official report claimed he was suffering from psychological disorientation. But the real debrief was darker. He said the object wasn't solid. It shimmered like liquid light. It moved as if alive, studying him, reacting to him. Whenever he tried to describe it, the recordings cut out. Whole sections of his transcript were blacked out. When a journalist filed a request for the file, the government responded, "We can neither confirm nor deny the existence of such material." Weeks later, CW resigned from NASA. His home was broken into twice. His personal tapes were confiscated, and then he vanished. His neighbors said they saw unmarked vehicles near his house days before he disappeared. The official story claimed he had relocated for medical treatment, but no hospital ever confirmed that. No records, no trace, nothing. It was as if the astronaut never came back from space. Years passed. Then a whistleblower emerged, a former communications technician from that mission. He revealed that their team had been ordered to reroute all telemetry through a private military channel. When they asked why, the response was simple. "It's above your clearance." He described hearing two overlapping voices in the transmission. One was human, the other wasn't. Shortly after his statement, the technician retracted everything. His online accounts vanished. His name disappeared from every public database. But before he went silent, he sent one final encrypted message to an online forum. "They heard it too," he wrote. "That's why they shut it down." And that's when everything began to connect. Other missions, other testimonies. Same patterns, same silence. Astronauts who reported anomalies were suddenly reassigned, retired early or discredited. One cosmonaut claimed he recorded a glowing shape following his craft for 2 full orbits. That footage, of course, was lost due to data corruption. It became clear that someone was controlling the narrative. Insiders later called it the Quiet Program, an unofficial operation meant to sanitize any evidence suggesting contact with non-human intelligence. For decades, it worked. Until now, because the truth has a way of resurfacing. And when it did, the world learned that CW's final transmission had not been destroyed. It resurfaced decades later, hidden in a forgotten data archive. A single corrupted file labeled Mission Audio Segment 7C. The voice was faint, distorted, but undeniably human. "This isn't a malfunction," ZW whispered. "It's following us." Then came another sound, one that no one could explain. A low hum, like energy pulsing through metal, followed by what resembled a voice. But it wasn't in any known language. Experts who analyzed the waveform noticed impossible harmonics, frequencies beyond the human hearing range. It was almost as if the sound was designed to be heard subconsciously. And right after the signal spiked, the feed died. That was the last known moment of contact before the spacecraft's systems rebooted automatically. NASA reported it as a software anomaly. But the original telemetry logs show a total blackout, something no standard glitch could cause. So what happened during those missing 3 minutes? That's the question that's haunted investigators ever since. In one of CW's recovered personal letters to a colleague, he wrote, "I don't think they want us out there yet. Not until we understand what's really watching." It wasn't paranoia. It was a warning. Because months later, during another classified mission, 2 astronauts reported a nearly identical event. They described moving light that mimicked their ship's rotation, always staying just beyond the shadow of the Earth. When they tried to photograph it, the cameras failed. All 4, simultaneously. After that, their communication lines were rerouted, and the mission's details remain sealed to this day. The patterns are undeniable. First contact might not have been a handshake. It might have been surveillance, observation, patience. Whatever CW saw, it seemed intelligent, curious, but also cautious, like it was studying how we react. The secrecy that followed wasn't just about covering up a sighting. It was about controlling the story. Because if the public knew that an astronaut had confirmed intelligent presence out there, panic would spread faster than light itself. But here's the part they never expected. A handful of former mission analysts began leaking fragments of encrypted data to independent researchers. And when those fragments were pieced together, they formed an image. A figure made entirely of light, standing outside the capsule, motionless. Its outline was human, but its proportions weren't. The file's metadata confirmed something chilling. The image wasn't created by a human hand. It came directly from the mission's analog telemetry stream, meaning the spacecraft itself captured it. NASA's statement called it a compression error, but technicians familiar with that system said such an error was impossible. One of them broke silence years later, claiming he'd seen the raw footage before it was destroyed, and according to him, the light moved. It turned toward the camera, then faded into nothing. That's when the quiet program went into overdrive. Every backup drive, every hard copy, every signal relay scrubbed. Anyone who asked too many questions found themselves reassigned, silenced, or simply gone. Yet somehow this story survived. Because truth, no matter how deeply buried, always finds a way to surface. CW's identity has never been officially revealed, but a former astronaut once hinted in a private interview. He wasn't crazy. He just saw something he wasn't supposed to. If that's true, it changes everything. Because that means humanity already had its first encounter. And instead of sharing it, someone decided we weren't ready to know. But the question remains, ready or not? What happens when they decide it's time to be seen again? And if they're already watching, maybe the silence isn't protection, maybe it's preparation. Because every message that's ever been sent into space, every signal, every echo, might not have disappeared. It might have been heard and answered. Some say that's why new deep space arrays are being built in remote regions, miles from civilization, not to send signals, but to contain them. So next time you look up at the night sky, remember, those stars might not just be stars. They could be eyes staring back, eyes that saw our first steps into the void and decided to wait for our return, because the astronaut's testimony wasn't a mistake. It was a message, a warning from someone who saw the truth before anyone else and was silenced for it. Now that silence is breaking. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you found this story. Because deep down, you were meant to. If you liked what you just saw, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Leave your opinion in the comments below to let me know what you thought. Thanks for sticking around, and see you in the next video.